How's it going, guys? It's Poetry Said, and welcome back to another episode of the Dutch Return campaign in Europa Universalis 4, where we are at war with Ming. Right now we're sort of working on some sieges. After we get these sieges done, I'm going to go and smash that army of theirs, and then keep sieging more, you know, get Beijing siege down. Yeah. Last episode we were talking a good bit about Dungeons and Dragons, actually, and yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen the comments, obviously. This is all one recording session right now, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about that in the comments. I would really love to hear some feedback. I don't know. I'm curious to see how many people actually that are in my comments in my that watch my channel do play Dungeons and Dragons or have wanted to. And again, oh my God, Ming, how did you? What in the world? How did you get all the way over here? I'm impressed by that. Wow. But yeah, if you are interested in playing D&D, what would it take you to do that? Because I think that there are a lot of. I think D&D has had a huge rise in prominence over the past couple years. For instance, with like Critical Role being so big, I have never actually watched any Critical Role, but with Critical Role being so big and getting so big, it had like I think the season 2 episode 1 that their thing had like 200,000 viewers. That's crazy. That's awesome though. But with that, there is a lot of, oh my God, New Brabant conquered Colima on their own. Nice. There's certainly been a lot of growth in D&D, not to mention then like Stranger Things. Stranger Things had D&D as an element in that show. I've never watched that show either, but I do know that I know that it has D&D as a big part of it, which is awesome. And yeah, just in general, there's a lot of like, there's been sort of a rise in the visibility of D&D recently in the past like 4 years maybe. I don't know. I think it's just become. And I also do think that part of it is actually like YouTubers like I know like Quill18, who is a guy I've watched a lot in the past, and anyone who like watches Grand Strategy gaming videos probably knows who he is. You know, he's one of the big names. Like Arumba and him are like the big ones in the Grand Strategy field. You know, they're like what I aspire to be basically. But Brunswick just popped out again, huh? Okay, yeah, not gonna conquer them though. But anyway, so Quill, I believe, and Arumba, I think both have done like charity streams where they play D&D for charity on Twitch, and that's awesome. But yeah, there's definitely been like a huge uptick of like visibility in pop culture and in society at large of what in American culture and stuff of D&D and D&D related things. It's always had a big influence in the gaming spheres, you know. I think pretty much the more and more I play and learn about D&D, the more and more I'm like, wow, most like action adventure video games, like anything from like Skyrim to Mount & Blade Warband, I think it's undeniable that they have influences based in Dungeons and Dragons. So I think it's just like so there's always been visibility and always been influence. However, recently I think it's gotten more to the mainstream. Like I think more and more people are like, wow, I want to do this. This looks cool. You know, people are like actively trying to seek out D&D outside of just the gaming community and whatever. And I find that really awesome. I'm new to it myself. I'm in that crowd of people who's like, I actually have known about it longer, and it's like I'm not trying to be hipster, but I wasn't really like, it's not because of the increased visibility now that I've done it. But there is certainly, but I am in the camp of people who is like more recent, a new wave of D&D players, I think, you know. That's how I describe myself. I'm in this new generation of players. I'm not one of the old guard, you know. And so So I think that there we go. Siege of Canton has been won. That's really awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I think that it's certainly. I think a lot more people are getting into it, and because of that, though, I think there are a lot of people who are like, there's sort of an influx of new players, but there's not been an influx of new DMs, and that's why I really like Matt Colville, the guy I was talking about last video and stuff. He has made a bunch of videos that have helped me a ton. Since I started watching them, like halfway through our first campaign. Matt Colville's like videos that he does talking about how to DM in Dungeons and Dragons is so awesome. Like, it is They are, like, the fact that he has put so much time into making these resources for people to use, that they can use to DM for people, is super important, I think, because you need DMs, and there's not a lot of people who are willing to take that leap without having played before, and there's a lot of new players, so there's not a lot of that. There's a demand, I think. And DMing has, for me, brought a lot more creativity in my life. DMing has been super fun. For one, it has really got me started working more on my world. I don't know if I talked about this in a video before. I'm pretty sure I have. I have like a fantasy world I've been working on for like about like 10 months now. Maybe like 9 months probably. So like August of last year or whatever. 8 or 9 months, you know, a while now. I've been working on this world, this fantasy world, because last summer, it was a confluence of things. It was sort of like a bunch of stuff happened at once. For one, I think I had been watching Northern Lion, another YouTuber actually, who is pretty well respected and plays like a lot of roguelites. I suspect a couple of you will know him. He's my most watched YouTuber. Northern Lion is the YouTuber that I watched the most. He's the one who really, he's actually one of the YouTubers that really inspired me to start my channel. Oh crap, no, that's, they weren't there yet, darn it. It's a waste of time, whatever. If you don't know Northern Lion, he's a great guy. It's actually funny, when I started YouTube, there were two, I watched, I don't know, maybe this is embarrassing, I'm not really embarrassed to admit it, but I really watched Northern Lion, I really watched PewDiePie. I don't think that anyone, I don't know, I don't think most people have any problem with PewDiePie per se, but he certainly kind of has an image of like being sort of mainstream, I don't know. I watched a lot of PewDiePie, I don't watch any PewDiePie anymore, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the guy. But then I started shifting. PewDiePie edits all his videos, and it's more like short form, funny entertainment, right? And I had no faith in myself as being good at that. I got really, I think as part of it is actually that I got really into, this is like this is like deep lore poetry, deep lore. When I started on YouTube, I think that's actually when I got into video games. No, that's not true. What it was is, what's the way to describe this? That's when I got into PC games, I think. Before 2014, when I started my YouTube channel, before that, I was always into games. Oh my god, we stack wiped them. I've always been into games, ever since I was 7. I remember it was my 7th birthday, maybe my 8th actually, but no, I'm pretty sure it was my 7th birthday. Got into, I was gifted for Christmas. That's actually funny. So my parents were divorced by this point in time. They, my dad and my mom, but they, and so I got two, for my 7th birthday, I got 2 Game Boys, actually. One from someone on my mom's side, or yeah, it was like my uncle on my mom's side. He's not blood related, but he's married to my mom's sister. He gave me a Game Boy, and some of the games that he liked, and then on the other side, my grandma my dad's mom bought me a Game Boy. Game Boy Advanced SP, the little flip one, not like the old Game Boys. It was one of the ones that was backlit and had color by this point, so I'm not super, it's not like I'm trying to say I'm super hipster, like old, like 90s kid. This is like late, this is like early 2000s generation. But, yeah, it would have been like 2004 or so, right? So, just to place it. But yeah, so so I got this Game Boy, I got 2 Game Boys. They were both blue as well, which is funny. Both blue, these Game Boy Advanced SP with color, backlit, pretty alright. Those are, and I spent so many, this brought me into gaming, and for a long time was like, so important for me as a kid, you know. Even like when I was like 14, I'd be like, I'd pull this out every once in a while and be like, I'm gonna play some Mario or whatever, or some game. And yeah, so it was a huge part of my childhood growing up. From that point on, from the age of like 7 and 8 or onwards, I really became super into the gaming community, kinda. Well, not really in the community, but you know, I got into gaming on the Game Boy. I played Zelda: A Link to the Past. I think that might have been my first video game I ever touched. Zelda: Link to the Past. Let's see, what were the other ones? Crash Bandicoot. I had a Crash Bandicoot game. There was 4 games that I got with this Game Boy, and it was these 4. It was Zelda: Link to the Past, Crash Bandicoot. Crap, man, what was the other ones? Oh crap! I'm trying to remember. There were some good ones. It was some good ones. Oh crap! What was the other one? What were the other ones? Oh, one of them was like a Namco like arcade game collection. That was like a bunch of arcade games for the Game Boy. Like it was a collection of things that included like Galaga, Pac-Man, and some other stuff. So that's all. That was always fun. You know, it's like sure, it's not like you can play any one of those forever, but I played a lot of Galaga on that. I played a lot of Pac-Man. I played like there was like the one of those old racing games, like the really old ones, like arcade racing games, like the what was it like I don't remember what it was called, but you know what I'm talking about, I think. And just in general, you know, these old games, and that was fun though. Like as a whole, like these 5 or 6 arcade games were fun. Definitely got my money's worth out of that. I mean, I didn't pay for it, so. But there was another one. It was those 3, and there was one other like pretty classic game. Later is when I actually got like Super Mario Brothers 2 or 3 or something. One of the old normal 2D platformer ones. But in general, though, I just got. You know what? Do we have any states that we want to be making? No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna just develop. So yeah, these really classic games. I think the other one might have been in like some Star Wars game or something. I don't remember. But in any case, I really got started with that. So after that point, it was all downhill. No, it was all like I focused a lot more on gaming. That became a part of my life. That's why I'm such a big gamer today. I don't. Gaming was part of my childhood, you know. And I think my dad might regret now giving me that, or you know, letting me use that Game Boy when I was a kid, because it has affected me so much. I don't think my dad really likes games so much, but I think he's coming to accept it. You know, realize that it's like, oh, he likes games not just because he doesn't just like shooting games. He likes games like EU4 that actually have some meat, some substance, you know. And I've showed him games that he's like, oh, this is interesting, you know. So I think I've kind of converted him a little bit. Well, no, so that was my life was changed by that. My life would have taken a different path if I'd never gotten a Game Boy. But anyway, so then the thing with that is that after it was only until, so then eventually when my dad got remarried, my stepbrothers, I had older stepbrothers who, when it was like I was in 4th grade, so I was like 9 when my dad got remarried, and my stepbrothers were, the youngest one was 19 at that point in time, I think, or 19 or 20. So they were older, right? The oldest one was like 22 or 23 by this point in time. So they were gamers. One of them, the oldest one, he was obsessed, and he's like unhealthily obsessed. He's gotten over it now. Like he's a very, like, he's a really good dude, and has gotten over the addiction, but he still loves these games. He was really into Diablo 2. Like he was one of the ones who would like farm accounts and stuff and everything. He was super into Diablo 2. Now he plays like Path of Exile a lot, but he's a full-time job. He's a productive adult, and he's like a, you know, he's done like chef stuff. That's his really like his passion. So he's found his way in life, but more than I have at this point, you know. So, but he's still super into those games and into Diablo 2, and now he plays Path of Exile. But it's you know, spiritual successor to that sort of thing. The middle one wasn't actually. He wasn't actually super into video games ever, really. But me and him would play some together. He was really into music. That was his thing, and so he would play like Dance Dance Revolution, and we played that a lot together. But what? Bengal's one province down there, and then a couple up there. But then the younger one was also really big into games. My youngest stepbrother, he is, and he still is. He is more of like He's always played more of like a lot of like Japanese games and stuff. What I mean by that is like he was the one who introduced me when like again like 12 or so to Monster Hunter. I love Monster Hunter. It's one of my favorite franchises, even though I haven't played it in a while at this point. But this is not a good idea, actually. But he introduced me to a lot of those games. A lot of strategy games that I found as a result of him. And but he never was super into strategy games. But Halo, we would all play with all three of my stepbrothers and me. We would play Halo all the time. That was super fun. I think we might lose this battle, but we might win. I'm not sure. We're gonna lose, but we're doing a lot of damage to them. We have a lot of manpower at this point. I'm not super worried. But yeah, so so my stepbrothers though, they also, what's the time like on this? Oh, okay, we got a little time. So my stepbrothers, they are all oh wow, they got it. Jeez. My stepbrothers, they got me into like console gaming beyond just handhelds. They got me into like they got me into like Halo and stuff, and then Monster Hunter and stuff, and Dynasty Warriors, the one that me and my youngest stepbrother, we would play after my other two stepbrothers actually like moved out. Me and my youngest stepbrother, when he was still living with us, we would play Dynasty Warriors together like for hours. It was so fun, you know. That's like one of those like nostalgia things for me. It's like just us screwing around. I'd get home from middle school or then high school, like 9th grade, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I'd get home from school and he would be off work. He worked like night shifts most of the time, and we would or he worked early in the morning. I don't remember, but he would be off, and we would just play Dynasty Warriors for like 4 hours straight, doing these hard missions on the insane difficulty, cheesing the game a lot of time. It was so great though, you know. It's just one of those things. I don't know why Dynasty Warriors is big for us, but we liked it. It's more fun co-op. I tried to go back to Dynasty Warriors now, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's fun enough. But it's more like that. It's about the people you play with. And so yeah, and so I started getting more into console gaming. Oh, hello. Really. Then I started to get more into. So yeah, so then I wasn't. It wasn't until I. Wasn't until I was like 14 or 15 till my let's go here. No, you go down here, you go down there to Hefei. Wasn't until when I was like 14 or 15, 2014, only not too long ago, 4 years ago or so, that I actually got into PC gaming. Before that, I was a console gamer. I was like the core average console gamer. I didn't do anything too out of the ordinary. It was two games that really got me into PC gaming in general. The first one was three games actually. I gotta be fair. 3 games, actually. They were... Crap. I'm not making any progress here. Those 3 games were... Minecraft. You know. Oh, so unique, right? No, but Minecraft's a good game. I don't think anyone disputes that. Minecraft... So Minecraft was the first one. I started. That's what like made me make the jump in the first place from PC or from console to PC. But if I hadn't seen Minecraft and like, oh, that looks fun, I probably would have never like picked up because it wasn't. I don't think it was even on like the Xbox at that point in time. I wouldn't have probably ever started really going further. But I did. I got Minecraft, and then and I think I actually sort of, this isn't really something that was a huge passion, but I think I also started playing Left 4 Dead, like with my brother and stuff. I never was super into it, but I was like, yeah, this is fun. And so we would play Left 4 Dead together, and so that was another thing actually, is a little bit to a more minor extent, but still, that got me definitely on Steam. And then on Steam, I would start like looking at games and stuff, and eventually at that point, I got into the next game that really, I think, was the one that affected me next was Mountain Blade Warband. Interestingly enough, I started going with Mountain Blade Warband, and I was like, wow, this is an awesome game, you know, this is fun. then soon after that, like within a couple of months of that, and then actually it's right around that point in time, 2014, right around that point in time, I was into Minecraft, into Mountain Blade. That's actually when I started my YouTube channel. I think right before I found Mountain Blade, I started the YouTube channel. My first YouTube videos were Minecraft stuff, you know, so original, right? Especially for that time period. I started doing Minecraft videos. That's what I started with on YouTube. Again, so original. But no, I liked Minecraft, and that lasted for like maybe a month. And then I was like, I don't like this. I don't think I can make a channel out of this. Mind you, I was 14. I was a lot less mature as well. But I realized, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is my long-term plan. I want to play more strategy games, more fantasy games, stuff like that. And that's what I found. Again, that's when I found Mountain Blade Warband. I started playing this. I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. I could play this for hours and hours. And I can. It's still one of my favorite games of all time. And I was like, I'm going to do a channel of it. I started doing videos of it on my channel. It didn't really get much views. There's not really much of an audience for that. Which is really funny because my good buddy, 2F Jeff, one of the great friends of the channel, he has like 5,000 subscribers, and his channel is focused on Mountain Blade Warband. And it's funny because we actually met around this time period, but we didn't meet because of Mountain Blade. We met because of the last game that really got me into PC gaming, Civ 5, right? Again, so original, right? Mountain Blade is actually a little unique. That one's not super well known. It's a little more niche. But yeah, Minecraft and Civ 5. Oh, who would have, so original, right? No, but those got me. Civ 5, when I started playing, I was like, oh my god, this is such a good strategy game. I could play this for hours and hours on my channel again. And I was like, I want to do some multiplayer stuff. I had done a little bit of multiplayer Minecraft stuff with a couple people. I was like, it doesn't really work out too much, and not really my thing. But I was like, this is something I could get behind. Civ 5 multiplayer. So I went and talked to people on Reddit on like r/Let's Play. Got a few completely random people, never talked to before, really. We got together, we got to know each other a little bit, and then we started playing Civ. And then I found out, yeah, and one of them was my good buddy Jeff, who I like met in real life now, and is one of like one of my better friends. I've known him for four years now. Most of it has been online, but still, what does that matter, And then my buddy Calzone, again, same thing. We still talk regularly. Less so now because he's busy with college, but still, like I think we both I consider him a good friend. I think he would consider me a good friend. We know what's going on in each other's lives, and stuff. So yeah, and then we had a fourth guy who actually we kind of fell out of touch with, but whatever. But still, and then I found, after we started playing, is when I found out that, oh, this Jeff guy really likes Mountain Blade as well, and we've done Mountain Blade stuff together because of that. But yeah, in general, he just like, Jeff really loves that game more than me, and he put the effort in, and I didn't. So my channel, my Mountain Blade Warband dreams never really panned out, especially because part of the reason, and this is actually a super long thing, just to get back to what I originally wanted to talk about, is the fact that it was around this time, this whole like few month time period, when I started watching PewDiePie less, because PewDiePie is great, he has funny content, but I realized I cannot compare myself to PewDiePie. I cannot try to follow PewDiePie because that's not going to be good for me. It does not fit my laziness, really. I'm too lazy to be the next PewDiePie. I'm not going to edit. I do not want to edit my videos this much to make them this funny, and I don't think I'm that funny to begin with. One of the reasons I had actually, so it was sort of like in this time span that I got started with, when I got started with YouTube, I sort of realized what I wanted to do with my channel. For one, around the same point in time, I started watching Northern Lion, and if you guys don't know Northern Lion, he's a great guy. He's inspired my channel, basically. I started watching his stuff, and his stuff was so unique compared to like what PewDiePie does. It's so different. I was like, wow, because what he does, what Northern Lion does, if you don't know, is he does not edit his videos at all. He hits the record button on his OBS and then says, hey, what's going on? And then a constant stream of dialogue or monologue until the end of the video, at which point he hits the stop record button, hits upload to YouTube. No editing at all. I think I've watched like literally thousands of his videos, I'm pretty sure. And I have only seen maybe 2 or 3 editing cuts in all of the videos of his that I've watched. And I wasn't even one of his first viewers. When I started watching him, he had maybe like 350,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now he has like 700, 800,000. So I'm not like one of the originals, but I started watching him when he started playing Rebirth, the sequel to The Binding of Isaac. And because I got into that game for a while too, but yeah, so I sort of started realizing this is what I think I could do. I would like to do the editing stuff. I'm never going to do that. I just know myself. I'm too lazy. I can't stay focused on one project for so long. I know myself. I'm not going to be able to do an edited channel like PewDiePie. I'm not that funny anyways. However, I realized, and this is something that's funny because going along with this, coinciding with this, my family, they had always teased me about this before, but my family had always like teased me, my sister and my mom and my stepdad. They all were always teasing me. They're all like, like you talk a lot, and that's certainly true. They would always tell me like, why do you talk so much? Why do you blabber on about stuff? They weren't mean about it, but they were like teasing me, and for good reason, because I did talk a lot. And then at one point, like right around, like within maybe a couple weeks of the time that I had started watching Northern Lion, and just was binge watching all his videos, then my stepdad, me and him were talking about stuff one day, and I was telling him maybe about this. I think I was talking about like PewDiePie and Northern Lion, because at that point in time, for a brief like month-long window, I was watching them both a lot, and then I sort of phased out PewDiePie, started watching Northern Lion, and my stepdad was like, "Yo, why don't you like make a YouTube channel?" He was like, "Why don't you make a YouTube channel? I think you'd be good at it." And I was like, I don't think so. I think I pretty much said that. I was like, I don't think I'd be good at it. And then like literally in the next week or two after that, I was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe he's right. I talk a lot, for one. I don't think I would have any trouble keeping up a constant stream of dialogue, which is one thing, or a monologue, which is one thing that I think you need to have a successful YouTube or Twitch channel, especially Twitch, actually. But why? I was like, why? You can't just want to do it. You have to know. You have to be able to talk. And I was like, I do talk a lot. And also, I've been watching, I think when he originally suggested it, and I said no, or, said I don't think so, I think the reason was because I was like, I don't think I could edit and be funny. And then after that, the next couple weeks, I realized, like, wait a minute, I don't need to necessarily be super funny, like, at all times. Look at this Northern Lion guy. He is just as, I mean, not just as successful as PewDiePie, obviously, but, like, he's, in my opinion, just as entertaining as PewDiePie. He has an audience. It's his full-time job. He's successful with it. Maybe I could try to be like him. And sure enough, I start going with it, and I start to do all right with it. Like once I sort of realized I don't need to edit stuff. I can find games that I don't need to edit. Then it started popping off for me. It's actually really interesting, because that's why at first it took me a while to find the games that I wanted to focus my channel around. For a good like 7 months or so, I was trying different stuff. I was like trying Mountain Blade Warband. No one watched it because I didn't edit it. No one wants to watch someone grind away in Mountain Blade Warband. You have to be really interesting and have an established reputation as being entertaining for that. No one's just gonna watch some random dude do it when they have to do that if they're playing that game, which they are if they're watching it, Anyways, so I love the fact that the Hamburg made it so their attention all got drawn all the way over here. That's really nice. Drawn all the way over there. So that didn't work. Same with Civ. No one really wants to watch another person play Civ because it's going to be the same every time. It's just like, it's randomized to the point where it's like, it's kind of the same. Turns out the same in the end. There's no real world connection or anything to make you want to watch, just, based on the person. That has to be really interesting. And I wasn't super interesting. I don't think I'm super interesting now. I think I'm mildly interesting sometimes, and I can talk a lot. That's still like my main strength, and it was back then too. I've gotten a lot better at it, that's for sure. But yeah, so that was a big thing. I was like, it took me a while to find the games. I was like, this game, you know, this game isn't working, this game isn't working, this game isn't working, Civ isn't working, Mountain Blade Warband isn't working, Minecraft isn't working, obviously. And then I would just play variety stuff, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, this isn't really stuff that I don't think I could focus on this a lot. I tried a bunch of stuff, and then finally, and I got more. I started. Let me mention, during this time period, is when I really started to realize what my taste in games even were, because I didn't necessarily realize before this point in time. So my YouTube, this is something that a lot of people might not know. My YouTube channel predates my, how long is this video? We can go a couple minutes longer, I don't mind going over on time. My YouTube channel predates my interest in grand strategy gaming. A lot of people started their YouTube channels, especially people that are older, you know, just like Quill and Aruma, they're adults. You know, I'm an adult now, but they were adults when they started their channel. They already had an interest with grand strategy games and were like, hey, I would love to do a channel with this. For me, I found grand strategy games after my channel had already existed. That's something that maybe you, if you're watching this, you might not know, is that, like, I have, oh wait, no, I had you there for a reason. I have had an interest in YouTube and doing YouTube videos longer than I've had longer than I even knew what grand strategy games were. You know, that's something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize, and I forget sometimes because they've both been around in my life for so long. But yeah, so I had you know, we should try to get to Afghanistan if at all possible. Yeah. What about? Wait, come back down there first. Yeah, there's but yeah, so I tried all this stuff out, and around, like, I think it was January or December 2014, January 2015, not that long ago, is when I got into grand strategy gaming, and I'm gonna go over the story why. Actually, you know what, that's a good place to stop this episode. We're gonna talk about it next time. Basically though, like, I just want to say, like, you know, Northern Lion, Arumba, Quill, even PewDiePie, those are, like, you know, those are my sources of inspiration. So I just want to say, you know, if they ever watch this, which, you know, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, or if you watch them and stuff, you know, that huge props to them. They're like, they still are my inspirations. So that's something that I just want to say. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I will come back next episode. Bye-bye.